Hello all, good morning. So today we'll be learning filtering a data table in Power Automate Desktop. So in Power Automate Desktop, we don't have any specific activities to filter a data table. But with the current version, latest version of Power Automate Desktop, we have a functionality called run a .NET script through which we can achieve a filtering of data table. So far, we are aware like how to do a Excel filtering. So we have multiple approaches to do that. One approach is the Power Query approach. Okay. Then second is using Excel as a database. Excel as a database that is already covered. So we can fire a SQL query to filter out any data from the Excel data. Okay. Then another method is a PowerShell scripting. So through the PowerShell scripting also we can do a filtering of
I'm
XLSX
sorry,
CSV.
low, isn't it?
Sorry.
Voice is very low.
Hello.
Voice,
Is it good now?
I think very low. Please ask some other people, Tanmok or any other person.
No, I didn't do anything. Okay. So we have these three methods,
Correct.
Power Query, then SQL method as well as PowerShell method. So we learned all these things. So today our focus would be like there could be situation like how to filter a data table itself, not an Excel file, right? So assume we have a data table, data in a data table, and we wanted to filter it. So with these approaches, there is a limitation of filtering a data table. Excel we can filter using using Excel as a database or writing a script through PowerShell and we can run the query over there. But if you want to filter a data table itself, so data table could be from any source. It could be from Excel, it could be from SAP table, or it could be from web scraping. So any source is there where the data table comes up, and if you want to filter that, so in earlier version of Power Automate Desktop, there was a limitations. If you compare with this Uipath one, so we have a separate set of activities to deal with the data table. But in Power Automate Desktop, uh, there is no any specific activities or actions to deal with. But yes, so we can achieve through the .NET functionality. Run the .NET script action is there. So through that we can achieve filtering of any data table with any specific requirement. So this is what we are going to learn today: how to use this action and how to filter a data table. We'll take some sample example of Excel file and we'll see how we can filter it. Okay. So to do all these things, so I'll show you what kind of activity we're having. So here is my Power Automate desktop. So I was talking about .NET functionality. So this is the new scripting method they have added in the latest version of Power Automate desktop. Earlier this was not there. So we have only scripting, right? So we have a scripting. We had this one like VB script, JavaScript, PowerShell, Python, and DOS. So .NET they have introduced in the latest version. So with this one, we can do a filtering, and uh, this is one kind of best approach to filter a data table. And this was a pain of a developer so far, how to filter a data table. That was an unanswered question from the Power Automate desktop. But this is something they came up, and now we are good to test, good to filter the data table using this particular concept. Okay. Being said that, let's bring up this activity, and we'll see how this activity looks like and what we can do with this. Let me create a one the sample subflow, and I will bring up this, and let's try to understand what this .NET run.NET script expect. Okay. Just sync up with me. If you have any questions, let me know. So this activity having different multiple parameters over here. So very first parameter is a language. So here it supports both the language C# as well as VB.NET. I mean, this comes up with the two language. Either if you are good at writing a C# code, you can go with the C#, or if you're good with VB.NET, you can go with the VB.NET. Okay. This imports are pretty much if you want to import any methods, okay, pre-built methods or something you wanted to import, so we have to write it here. Okay. Then next is reference to be loaded. Reference to be loaded, nothing but there is a .dll file. I mean, this is kind of a what I can say, a file required. You can see the pop-up is coming up here. Root path, it's asking for root for path of a .NET dynamic link libraries. So this .NET, so .dll file, we have to place it somewhere and provide the path here. Okay. So how to place that, I will let you know. So here already I written the steps. I will share this document with you people. So here is a provision for that one. Okay. In your system also, you can come to know this. So basically, if you go your C drive, you will find one .dll file, this DLL file. I will mark it as a bold. So system.data.dataset extension.dll. This is a mandatory DLL required to run this particular script. Okay. So where we can find this? Simply you can go ahead with the C drive, I will say. Go to your C drive. Okay. And in that, if you go with the Windows program files, we'll say PowerAutomateDesktop, you have to search out. If it is not there, go to your program files 86 and you'll see a PowerAutomateDesktop. Okay. So here, if you go down, scroll down, you will get the that particular extension or DLL, system.data.dataset extensions.dll. Okay. System.data. Can anybody see it where it is? System.data.dataset extension. Okay. Okay. This is, we can find it under you also can search it in your system. Both of you people go ahead and with this program C drive and open up this PowerAutomate desktop. So you're supposed to get the system.dll file basically. So let me check it. Maybe let me search it here. System.data. Okay, probably I have moved this file to some other location, so you people can find it. Can you confirm, like you both of you, Bhaskar and you, Tarun? I copied it to this location basically, so you can see here system.data.dataset extension. So I created a separate folder in the C drive. Okay, so here,
please go back once again.
And here I place that file basically, system.data.dataset extension. So this particular path we have to provide here in this one, reference to be loaded. Are you able to find, you both of you?
Please open.
Yeah, this one, system.dataset extension.dll.
Okay. Just wait.
Sir, I'll
This
try
is needed.
later. I'll do on the mobile.
Okay, so make sure you're supposed to join to laptop only always. Otherwise, this will be not useful for you. for next time.
Okay.
Okay, so once you find this, then copy that file to another folder. I just copied it to this particular folder. I created a separate folder called as PowerAutomateDesktop, and inside that I created a separate folder and placed it here. So this path I have to give it here in the reference to be loaded. So simply you can click on this folder structure and go to your location. Here I placed it under this one and click on OK. So this is the folder, right? So that folder location I given here. Understood? Reference to be loaded.
Okay.
Okay. So that DLL file is required. Maybe in the maybe in the future version they will add it to by default. But as of now, this is the workaround we have to do it. First of all, this is a one-time activity. You have to provide it. Next, script parameters. If you click on this edit one, okay. So this will give us options here. So if you click on this plus symbol, come to know what it is asking basically. So this particular script parameters. So what you want to do a filtering means on which data table you want to do a operation. So here we have to provide the parameters. Okay, so we can provide any name here. Let's say test. So test data table. Okay, test data table is my parameter name. What is the data type of this one? So data type could be anything. So for now we are learning data table. So I'm putting as a type of that one. Direction. So of course, as we're processing a data table, so we have to pass a data table from outside to this particular script. So that's why in direction will come up here. Okay, in direction come up here. What we have to pass here? This is a data table variable. So we have to create a data table variable. It could be from Excel or something else. We have to place it here, that variable. Okay, so that will go to this particular test data table. Assign it to test data table. Kind of passing a value from from outside to inside. That's why it is coming up as a indirection. Now, after processing, you want to get that output to the outside. So I can click on plus symbol. Let's say I'm going to create it as a result one. Okay, result. I want to pass it to the data type again table and want to pass it as out like this. Understood? And here I have to create a variable again. So here it could be, let's say input data, and here I will make it as a output data. So after processing whatever data comes up, see internally in the script, this .NET parameters are used internally, test data table and result internally in the script. But for the Power Automate Desktop, we are using two variables. One is passing to the input and another is output as processed output, I would say. So this output variable will take the output from script. So these .NET parameters directly you cannot use. So these are used inside the script, and input value output variable. These are used for the in the Power Automate Desktop. I mean it's outside basically. So this is we normally call it as a arguments. So argument in the sense passing the variable from one instance to another instance. So here we are passing the value of the variable to the test data table inside the script, and whatever processed output is there, it's going assigning to the result and getting back to the output variable. So these are called as arguments, and we can decide the direction what we are passing inside, what we are taking outside. Also, we have the provision of data types. Select the data types. Any question on this one, guys?
No, I'm okay.
Good. This is once it is done, then click on done. Okay. So automatically this will come up here. So no need to worry about the script parameter. Now, actual code we have to write it here under .NET code to run this part. So here we have to write our code. So I'm sure like as you are beginner for this one, so we'll see very specific .NET code which are used here. But if you want to learn more, I think there are multiple sources where you can learn the .NET code and explore it. But for automation purpose or for filtering the data table, whatever required script is there. So we'll discuss that in this session, and you can achieve your the requirement, that is filtering a data table. So that we will discuss with this particular script. I will share the script with you. So this is all about this particular action, I would say, run.NET script. So any question on this one? We'll see the examples. Again, we'll understand in better way.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, thanks. So let's start with the one of the example. This is how, just now I've shown you script parameters. We can decide the direction. We can set the arguments for that one, what we have to pass. We'll start with a simple example for this one, and we'll start with a simple example like doing some addition or subtraction. We'll see that, and I'll get back to this filtering data table activity. Okay, let me edit these parameters again. Let me take it as input A. Okay, input A. Let's say make it as integer. So I'm just giving an example how this will work. Okay, this is input B. Also, let's say integer. This is also in, and here I am making it as a input 1. Then second, I've just copy this. Then input 2. Okay, and one more variable to create here, that is output. This is, let's say, it is also an integer. I want to do addition of 2 numbers. How we can achieve that? So here I will create a variable in output section here, that is, let's say, result. So variable always we have to write it in a % symbol. Okay, you are already aware about this. So here what I will do, I will write a small script for this one. So result is their output and 2 are the inputs. So I want to do addition. So simply I will write output is equal to, okay, input A plus input A plus input B. That's it. So this is a small script we written in the .NET, and click on save button. Okay. But here the input 1 and 2, whatever we passed, right, those are not exist basically, right? So we have to define it. These values are not available. So we need to use a set variable, assign some values to that using a set variable. So here I will use that input. Okay, we'll create the variables here basically. Let's say input 1, I will assign value 10, for example, input 1. Then copy this again. Let's say this is input 2, and I will mark it as a 5. So we have 2 values, 10 and 5. I wanted to do an addition, and whatever output comes up, I wanted to display it. So here we are using a .NET functionality to do this operation. So what variable we have created, that is a result. Okay guys, so I'll show you again in the run script. Under the edit, we can see we have 2 input and output, and we have to create a variable here called as, let's say, result. So try to understand, input values we are providing input 1, input 2, output we are taking to the result. Okay, but inside the script we are using another variable names, input A, input B, and output. So these are used internally. We are taking the values, 2 values from the outside in the input part, and after processing we are passing it to the outside. That is the result one. Okay, let's see how this will gives me a value. Let me run this. This is a simple example how to use a run.NET script, passing 2 values, taking 1 output. See this. Understood guys? Any question on this one? Like, I hope you understood how to use this run.NET script. Now, if you have any questions, let me know. We'll clarify and we'll go for the data table operations. Are we good, guys?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, just a minute. Okay, let me save this and I will show you some of the data table operations. So I will go back to my data table Excel file. Okay, so I have an Excel file here already downloaded for this particular operation, guys. So you can see here, this is the file called as training data, have the multiple data here. So we have month name, consultant, date. No, this is basically training data, candidate training data. So we'll do operation on this one and we'll do all the operation on this one and see how PowerAutomateDesktop will help us to achieve this. So very first operation we are going to do is that is a clone operation. Clone data table. What is the meaning of clone data table? Clone data table is nothing but suppose you are doing something in PowerAutomateDesktop. You wanted to have a structure of this table. Cloning. I want only headers of this one. So cloning is nothing but copying a existing data table. Okay, copying the existing data table, copying its structure basically. Copying the structure of a data table. Structure in the sense how many columns are there, what is the column names. So this structure I can say I don't want data, but I want a structure of this data table. So creating like this is nothing but a cloning. Understood, guys? Cloning is nothing but copying a structure of a data table. So structure is like with the column name headers, like header names, or you can call it as a column names as well. So how we can achieve that? So that can be achieved using Power Automate, and we have to write a script for that one. So to do all these things, I will show you with the help of example, guys. Okay. So already we created this clone data table. I will show you how it has been created. So first of all, we will take we'll open up our, I would say, Excel file. Just a minute. I will close this and open up this to the D drive. Here I will place it. Okay, and here I will copy this file path just to basically I wanted to this is the file I wanted to read basically. Okay, why we are doing this, guys? We wanted to read the data and create a data table for that. I will show you with the Excel as well as with the normal data table. We can build a data table and how we can do the processing there also. I will show you. This is the source of Excel, source of data table basically. So here what we are doing, we are storing the data in an Excel data variable. Okay, Excel data variable, and we want to copy the structure basically. We'll see how we are going to do this. This is as usual, reference to be loaded. Okay, language has been selected .NET. Edit parameters. In the parameters, what we have to do is we have to create two variables here inside variable. One is training table, another is result table. We can provide any names. Okay. What is my target is I want to pass a data table as a in, and I want a output with the result table. Passing data table as an input, do the processing and pass an output to the output variable. So Excel data is my input and result table is my output. What is the expected result here? I want a header names, column names, or structure of your data table. Okay. And what script you have written for this? Script is very simple. Result table is output variable and training table is my input variable. Dot clone open and close bracket. Simple script. Okay, so where training data table is input. So simply if you understand, this is the output. Okay, this is the output and training data table we have written as a input, guys. Try to understand this. This is the input. So, okay, and this output we are assigning to result table. In the edit parameter, you can see this is my output. It's coming outside of this activity. We are using this. So let me run this and we'll see how I'll put a break here. We can understand what is there in the Excel data and what is there in the result table. Okay, you can see Excel data coming up with this much of data in that, having column headers as well as rows. Okay. Now, if I run this script, what will happen? It will copy the structure of the data table and keep it in a result table. See, there is no any data. I hope you're understanding. There is no any data. So it simply copied what? The structure, column headers it copied. Understood, guys? Try to understand. The input we provided is Excel data, where we have the column names as well as data. So with the clone operation, what we achieved is we copied the structure only. So sometimes it is required when you are dealing with your real-time projects, where we have to, there could be business file and whatever columns are there, those columns I want only column names to produce an output file. Okay, so in that case, we can achieve using this clone operation. So cloning operation we can do to get the structure of a data table. Any question on this one before moving to next operation?
The clone means only to get headers only.
Correct. Structure of the data table.
Okay, okay, that's it.
I mean, you want to create a separate Excel file. Okay, separate Excel. So, I mean, maybe question arises, Gajan, what we can do with this headers by taking the headers only? You can do, see, no need to build this operation, right? So normally we build a data table like this, right? There is an operation called as create a data table. I think data table, if you go right, there is a create new data table operation is there. So here we have to provide all the column names, whatever column names I require. If you don't have structure with you, but here the structure is already created, right? Structure is already created under result table. Understood? With the column names, everything is there. So simply if you want to do an operation, what you can do, simply I can go for insert a row. That's it. Start working on that. So data table already created. So there are two scenarios. Would you like to create a empty data table with a custom column? Okay, then go ahead and use this create new data table. Okay, this is the first scenario. Second scenario is what? Would you like to copy the structure of any existing table and then insert the data? Then go with the clone operation. So in the clone operation, structure is already created based on one of the reference data table. Now I can add the data based on these columns. How many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So simply I can go ahead and use the data, use this concept like insert row, where I have to insert enter the result table. Okay, that result table, and here we can decide where we want to insert, and here we can pass the values. Correct. So here we can use the pass the values. Let's say I will use I think we have to use April, 8 columns are there, right? So test 1, I'm just writing random data, test 2, test 3, test 4. Just wanted to show you what is the benefit of this using 5, test 6, and test 7. Already April we have written. Let's run this. Okay, again I will run this. Okay, so we run script. So there is no any row, right? No row available here. So after this insert, row will get added. The amount of values provided to be added don't match the columns of the data. Achha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many columns are there? 8 columns are there, right? There is 2 only. Why it's not coming up? 1, 2, 3, 4. What was the error? The amount of values provided to be added don't match the columns of data table. Let's provide the single quote here. That will help us to. So we are passing all these values right individually. So that's why probably we need to provide this single quote. Let's try it again. So basically with the clone operation, what is the conclusion? We can copy a structure and that structure we can use it for further operation. We can insert the row, we can delete the row, whatever we can do.
Based on the reference file.
Yes, based on the reference cell. So if you want a custom columns, guys, so this is done, I think. So you can see under row, this data got added. Okay, conclusion is what? If you want a custom column, go ahead and use a create a new data table. If you want to copy a structure of existing table, then go ahead and use the clone concept using a .NET functionality. Understood this one?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what the conclusion of clone operation. Okay. Next operation we'll discuss remove duplicates. Means get the unique values. Remove duplicates or get the unique values from the entire table. This is one operation. Second operation, for a particular column. Okay, for a particular column, how you can achieve this? So of course we need to explore this particular script, I would say. Now this I will share with you, like this particular file will be placed on our team chat, so you can simply refer this for practicing purpose. Of course, if you practice more, you will get the more idea on this one. So first of all, we'll go with the remove duplicates. Okay, get the unique values. So for that, we have to use this particular script training table. This is the table, input table. We have to use dot default view dot to table in bracket. We have to write true and assign it to result table. Okay. So if you check out what data is there in the Excel data, so we have almost how many data we are having, guys? 41 data are there. No, almost 40, starting from 0, right? So almost there are the 41 rows are there. So I want only unique rows with respect to all the columns. How I can achieve that? That was talking about. Again, we are doing the same thing. We are reading the data, correct? So let me copy this one there as well. So here I'm means launching the Excel file, reading the data and closing it again. So this is the data table source I'm having as of now for testing purpose. So here, so we are achieving what? Remove duplicates. Okay. Let's go ahead and run this. I just added a breakpoint here and I wanted to show you the results quickly. See here. So we had 41 rows earlier. Now we got 37. What this means? So there are the 4 rows which are similar to each other. Understood, guys? So 4 rows are duplicate. They got deleted basically. Okay. So here is my input data. In this input data, there are the 4 such rows which are same to each other, which are duplicate basically. So that has been identified and deleted. That has been identified and basically deleted with respect to all the columns. Here is this data. Okay. And what script you have written for that? This one. Training table dot default view dot to table in bracket true. If you write false, it won't remove the data. It will write true, then only you get the unique rows. Okay, guys. Now, next is if I want to specifically, I want to go with a particular column. Let's say in month column. If you go to Excel, I'll show you what I mean to say. Suppose I want to filter the table based on, sorry, get the unique rows based on the column month. Okay. So you can see the April is repeating here, August is repeating, December is repeating. Okay. I want single entries, not all. Like for April, I want only first data. For August, I want first record. For December, I want first record. How I can achieve that? I want if the if the records are repeating based on month, I want only first record of the April. First record of the April. How I can achieve that? So here we are going to do this using this particular script. Training table dot as enumerable, then group by month name, grouping the data by month name and selecting a first data out of that. Can you see the script? So first we are grouping the data by month name column. We can change the column name as well, guys. So example is using the month name. Then take the first out of that, first record out of that, and pass this entire table to the result table. This is called as copy to data table operation. So that has been done here inside the script. Same script I written. What? This one. What is the meaning of this one? We are converting a table to the enumerable. This is another kind of data type. So we're converting that to enumerable, and there we are doing the operation called as group by month name, means grouping the data by month name, and then we are taking the first data out of that. So doing it for all the records and copying that final results to the result table. So this is the meaning of this particular entire query. Okay. So this I have already written under this last one. So let's go ahead and run this. We'll see the output. So we got such 12 rows. Okay, you can see 12 such rows where April is single time, August is single time. Of course, there are the 12 months. So we got the 12 rows out of 41. Okay. So what script you written? I'll show you. So this is script you written. So we've taken the first. So I will compare with the result here. So go ahead with this one, open this and apply the filter here. Okay. If you go ahead and apply the filter and you want only first data, right? So like April, in April, what is the first data? Just remove this. In April, we have first data is what? This. So that is coming up in a table now. First data for all the month, like similarly, this is for April. Similarly, for all remaining month, we are getting the data. Like so, let's go ahead and see this first data is coming or not. So this is under April, right? April. So we are getting this. What is the data in April now? Emily Williams, right? Project management fundamentals. So same things coming up here. Okay. So this is how we can achieve remove the duplicates as well as getting the first occurrence, second occurrence, third occurrence, fourth occurrence, that kind of things we can do using the .NET functionality. Okay. Next, any question on this one before moving? I'll show you the real filtering now. We'll discuss the filtering functionality now. Okay. So now I think we are good. Let's go ahead and see how I can filter the month name column for only April month. Like this. I want only April result. How I can get this using the .NET functionality. Correct. So this is I'm doing in Excel. How I can get it in here in PowerAutomateDesktop. Let's go ahead and see this. So here we are launching again data table and running this. So what we are doing here, you are applying the filter here. What filter we are applying? Try to understand here. So here we are taking the data again as in Excel data and passing it to the result table. What operation we are doing here? Can you understand this? Training table is my input. We are selecting, we are filtering here. This one. This is the filter. What filtering we are doing? Month name column. Whatever month name column is there, in that I want only February data. We can write it as a April as well, like this. And whatever result comes up out of that, then pass it, convert this into CopyToDataTable and pass it to this particular function output. So this is applying a filter on a specific column. I want only April result. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay, let me show you. So this is my entire data, correct? How many records are there of the April? 3 records are there. If you see the first 3 records are the April record. So we have filtered the data table and we're supposed to get only April records. Is it amazing? And also faster.
Okay.
Yes, guys?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, this is too much faster and we got the data. And this is for one single column, right? So we did it for a single column. But what if I want to apply filter for multiple columns? Multiple columns means I want month name, I want April, and I want code as a 101. Like multiple conditions on the same data table. Okay, what I'm explaining? Let me show you again this. There could be requirement, could be anything, right? So we have to be ready with all the situations. Suppose I want to filter April month data. Okay, April data that I'm selecting here. April I'm getting. Okay, got it. I want to code as a 101. Filter all the data with matching these two criteria. What month should be April and code should be what 101 PM 101. So we got only single record. How I can achieve this in a .NET functionality? Understood what I'm saying, guys? One is code, another is month name. Two filter we have to apply. So that is called as multi-line filtering, multiple line filtering. So here I have written the code for that like this. So this is again on the same column we applied. I will change it to something like code. Okay, or operation we are using. So I want here and operation. So month should be April and code should be what? What we have seen here, PM 101. See, operator we have to write here. What operation you want? I want and operator. And means I want month as April, code as a 101. Depends on the requirement. What is your requirement? So accordingly, we have to change the logic here and or operator. Okay. Click on save. Let us see again. Let me run this quickly. This is not required. I will disable it. Let me go ahead and run this. So we will get only single result. We're supposed to get a single result because there is a single record is available. Yes. See, we got a single output. So where month name is April and code is 101. Understood, guys? How to filter it? We can change the operation there in the filtering. We like if you want to make it as or operator. So no requirement could be anything. So you can go ahead and do that. So that is straightforward. So you can use again any change, like I want or operator here, right? So you can use or operator. I want month name as, let's say, same column here. I'm putting copy this, or maybe not equal you want to use. Suppose not equal means this is equal to symbol, right? I don't want to be equal symbol. I don't want April. That's a requirement. I don't want April. Apart from April, and PM code should be 101. So we should get all remaining month data. So this is how the requirement changes, and we can change the logic. Month should not be April, and code should be 101, PM 101. That data I want. Let's see, do we get any data or not? Okay, there is no rows, means it's coming up as a no rows available, means no such data is available like that. Whatever we return, that is means. Okay, so we can make it as again not equal to like this also. We will get all the remaining data. Code, a month should not be April and code should not be 101. We want all such data. Means negative scenario. You should get 40 records, I would think. Oh, sorry, maybe matching records like this. April, right? April also we don't want. So that's why April 3 records got minused. So we don't want April month, as well as PM code should not be what 101. So you can't see any PM code 101 here, right? No 101 code is available, as well as month is not an April here. So this is how we can change the logic of filtering, and this is pretty faster, I would say, guys. If you have thousands of data in Excel and you want to do this, of course Excel is a database one operation, and the another operation you can notice as a .NET functionalities. Okay, and I will tell you the beauty of this one. Suppose I want to apply one more filter. So filter on filter is achievable in .NET. In previous methods, that is not at all available. So if you want to again apply filter on the same data table, means Excel data is already there in the Excel data, but what is output now? Result table. On that result table, I want to again apply the filter. Can you do this? Yes, we can do that. So I will pass here, instead of Excel data, I will pass it as what? Previous Excel result. Okay, I'm passing previous previous filter result. I want to do some processing here again. What I want to do process here is, let's say I want only February or maybe May month of data. Okay, maybe we'll write this or maybe we'll write a single column only. That's it. Let's go with this one. Okay, what is my requirement? Whatever filter has been happened from the previous filter operation, I want to apply filter on that data. So my input is previous result, process it again, overwrite it to the same table, or make it as result table 1. So that is also good. Okay. So result table 1 should come up as an output now. So input is Excel data, first filter output is result table, and second filter output is result table 1. So this is achievable in .NET. So filter on a data table. I'll show both the output, guys. It's completed. So this is the first filter output and second filter output is here. what we return, we want only May month data, correct? First filter output is here. First filter output is here. This is the first filter output. And second filter output is here. Understood, guys? Any questions? So we send filtering data table based on single column as well as multiple columns. So we can do various operation, guys, various operation using this kind of functionalities, using this .NET queries and LINQ queries, I would say. So we can achieve all major operations. This queries looks like a SQL queries only, but little bit difference. And these are faster enough for the data table operations. So I hope you understood. What I will do, I will share this document. You can explore the remaining operations on this one. So we can explore and learn this, and also will come across the different queries, .NET queries, I would say .NET different scripts to work on data table basically. Okay. So any question, guys? Any question? Comparing with previous two methods, how you are feeling? Is it good? Filtering method.
Yes, very good.
Okay. Let me stop the recording.